So today we're going to go over how to get 10 new customers in your sub niche at record speed. And yeah, let's just jump into it. So in front of us, we've got a process flow of, all the different ways you can generate leads. So how to go from generated to closed. So we've got Facebook, we've got cold email, we've got LinkedIn, we got another version of LinkedIn, we got warm email. So that's your current, subscribers to maybe an already existing list you've got in your database. So there's quite a few ways to do this. Don't get me wrong, there's probably like hundreds of other ways, but these are the ways that we currently have existing successful systems for and can provide, plenty of case studies and whatnot for, and specifically for niches that we've worked with successfully. So yeah, if we jump into, say, the process flow then, so let's say we've generated a lead via LinkedIn outreach. The lead has expressed interest. If no, we'll just apply an NEPQ. It's called a sales. NEPQ is a sales framework that we apply to prospects that has a high closing rate. So then let's say the lead says yes. We send a booking message in the same channel and we get them booked in. So after the booking, if it's no, we just keep following up and getting them booked in. Again, if it's a no-show to the actual meeting, then same thing. And if it's a booked meeting and it actually happens, then they get added to a Calendly sequence, which basically looks about that. And so that's basically it. And then, it's pretty straightforward. They just go from closed to testimonial and then repeat from the start. So yeah, that's essentially how you'd book one customer in multiple times. So if you wanted to get more in, you just use the same process. But some people want to know why, how this all happens. So yeah, there's a few ways that we can do this. As mentioned, there's the LinkedIn and the email. So we have process flows for both of those as well. We've got the email system here. There's videos of that too. Set up 4 domains. This is for my case. You might want to make it for your company. So it would be usually www.companyname.io lookalikes or .co.uk.com, etc. Setting up 3 email accounts per domain. And that process flow is another SOP in itself that works very well. And we got the LinkedIn system here, where you use basically a database of accounts that your company has access to, and you do outreach in a very specific way, and then you have a Q&A document that responds to leads in a certain way. So those are the processes that we have in-house that work very well that we can implement. But before we get into the whole outreach thing, because obviously that's just a system that you implement and it works, but you want this system to work really well, right? Because if it works really well, you won't only get 10 clients in, you'll get 100 clients in. So the way to make that happen is essentially getting things tight in your ICP, so your ideal customer profile, and getting things tight. And by tight, I mean, specific and unique and great. So ICP, marketing argument. I'll focus on these 2 areas today. So as we can see here, we've got an example ICP, US, founder, technology, 11 to 50 company size, revenue 0 to 100K per, I would say that's per year. So that's probably closer to 1 mil, to be honest, if we're looking at that company size. Some of those companies aren't profitable, some are, but ultimately they can afford software and things like that. So that's an ICP that's fairly standard, and it's not very specific, but it is good in terms of a starting point of trying to figure out where to sell your stuff to, for example. So yeah, so you may want to target an audience like that, but you may, for example, know your ideal customer profile because you know that you need to target the finance team at an enterprise, and therefore we've worked with clients like that, and therefore the ICP would look very different. It would be potentially USA based on where you want to target. Wouldn't be the founder. Those companies, those enterprises are pretty big. You don't need to talk to the founders. You need to talk to, like in that case, you would want to talk to head of finance, for example, head of technology. Now, head of technology can get a bit, let's say, touchy if you're trying to change tech, because they're meant to do that, right? So it's a bit of a cat and mouse game of like, don't step on the wrong people's shoes, only focus on the right people and get them to kind of spearhead this idea in this software or whatever solution you're trying to provide. So it may be the case that you don't want to target the head of technology. You just want to target the head of finance who sees the value and then tells the head of technology, we're doing this, for example. That's very simplified, and I know every company is different, but there will be patterns that you can spot. I don't know what industry it will be, but every big company has a finance department, so let's just stick with enterprise / corporate. There may be an industry that you're after. It may be just Fortune 500 or something. All right. Company size maybe 250 plus. Revenue maybe 100 mil plus. If it's 250, maybe that's 10 mil plus. And then notes. And then you want to form a marketing argument out of this. So here's an example one, but I'm just going to build one out from what we just made. So the state one is no financial automation, for example, or limited automation in financial team. State two may be fully automated financial processes. The niche, we already spoke about this, enterprise teams. Time frame that this solution can be delivered in, this depends on you, but it may be anywhere from 3 to 12 months. For example, I know enterprises take a while to get things done. Mechanism. So how are you doing this? Like, what is the solution that you're using? It could be a bespoke software infrastructure or architecture of some kind. Okay. Forgive my spelling. Risk aversion. So what if things go wrong? So you may want to include this, you may not. If it's your first clients, maybe include this and be like, look, we'll give you if we don't hit targets, work for extra 1 to 2 months to complete project, etc. That kind of thing. Standout statement. This might be some kind of sparkly thing you want to add in there, which like lights people up, because we're talking about marketing here, right? You just want to spark that initial interest. So you may want to take wording that sounds particularly nice. So it's like fully automated bespoke software, something like that. Fully automated bespoke software to maximize finance team output and cut costs in half, generating extra 500k in saved fees per year, that kind of thing, right? So it has to sound cool and do the good thing for the company. Otherwise they wouldn't do it, right? So the final wording is basically more to the point, and it just takes everything here and puts it in one kind of way. And you can obviously play around with this, but this would be like the final offer, just to like clarify things. I help enterprise teams go. I help the finance I help finance teams in enterprise go from limited to fully automated processes in 3 to 12 months using, you may want to use something like this. Fully automated bespoke software. And you may want to use this as well, generating extra 500K. Say fees per year. All right, so that's like your final wording and your final offer, which is the kind of marketing argument that we've now created. And this is what you're going to use to sell your solution. So yeah, and you want to kind of weave this kind of wording in when you do your outreach, so that it sounds legit and it's something you can deliver. So hope that made sense, and yeah, look forward to having you book in for a call with us if you want to learn more.